Welcome back to the Nickel and Dime Football Show. It's your boy Suds. We got the boy Drew behind the wheels of steel. Make sure you like and subscribe so we can get more content to you, the people who enjoy Nickel and Dime. And for those of you who don't, share and let everybody else know. We getting back into this NFL action. A lot of things to be decided. Trade deadline coming up. Winners, losers. We're gonna talk about it all. And we giving you insight into next week, man. Make sure you lock it in right here. It is Nickel and Dime.
Shawn, you said it best, man. What a great trade deadline. Like, not a bunch of big, flashy trades, but like
No.
trades that are really going to help teams that are in contention. And I love the trades that are not even going to happen, where they're not even going to help the team this year. They're looking towards the future.
Yeah. That's always great when you can get players who will actually help you for more than just a 1 year rental or at least a half a season rental. You know what I mean? Something that maybe you want to offer them a little bit more money, sweeten the pot a little bit, but great for the team, great for the fans too, man.
Yeah. I'm digging these conditional draft picks too. Like so many
Yeah.
stipulations. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get into it. But let's go ahead and do our week 8 recap. We always start on Thursday night football. Shawn, how you okay, buddy? You doing all
Hey
right?
man, listen. When you expect it to happen, the blow is lessened. You know what I mean? When
That's
you
fair.
expect it to happen, boys came out like gangbusters. They came out and was showing everything that we wanted to see over the course of the last 2 weeks, what they haven't been doing, and then it all shit the bed. And Devin White might need to rip that C off his chest the way that he has been playing. He's making Levante look average, and that's hard to do. A lot of players missing, but no excuses though. Not for this team.
Understandable. Jackson, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brady countered that with 325 yards and a touchdown. How'd you feel about Brady's play?
Brady, okay, so the end result kind of masked the bad plays that Brady has. But Brady, for his end result, the numbers look good, but it hasn't always been that good. He's looked out of sync with these receivers who everybody knows can go off. So Brady has to take some of that blame too, Drew.
That's fair. That's fair. Uh, this Ravens team on the flip side is looking like they're starting to pick up some steam at the right time. Start churning along, and we'll get into it later. So stay tuned for housekeeping notes. Added some pieces. So
Yeah. What you like to see? I mean,
yeah.
it's exciting. Baltimore, they're really making a push in this tough AFC, man. And at this point, Drew, you have to say they are right in the thick of it.
Oh, of course. I call it the NBA has their big three. As far as teams,
Yeah,
as far as players on teams, but
right.
AFC's got some. I think the big three: the Bills, Chiefs, and now Ravens. All right, Broncos finally get a win in London against the Jaguars.
Yeah. Much needed for those boys too, man. Much needed. Drew, I didn't know, man. I didn't know they was looking like they was gonna give it up again.
Russ did okay. I guess that's all we can ask for at this point.
Right.
Um, I love that the bigger storyline was how he annoyed his teammates on the flight. Like we men doing high knees in the aisles.
Yeah.
He's like, my teammates were trying to sleep. I was like, let them sleep.
And everybody already cramped up for that long period of time. Like they don't want to hear you. And Drew, I'm a light sleeper, man. I'm a light sleeper,
Yeah,
like can't sleep with I need complete darkness and
yeah.
be quiet,
I
you know.
can't sleep on planes. There's no way. There's no way. It's not gonna
you know,
happen.
I can foresee many a time where you have forgotten to download some stuff and just been shit out of luck on the
Bro,
plane.
it is so awkward just looking around on a plane because you got nothing going on. You're just
Right.
like, I'm here. What's up? It's awkward. Yeah, but Broncos win. Jaguars still got a long way to go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They surprised us at the beginning of the year, but they're doing more Jaguar type things.
Drew, 133 yards from Trevor Lawrence and arguably a breakout game for Travis Etienne. Though.
Glad I started in this week.
Well, I did too in my league. I mean 156 yards in a TD, but
Except Robinson's gone, man. This is me. This is all me now.
it is. I mean, and they put it on him. I think they got rid of Robinson at the right time, and he's going to be productive for his new team, though.
Sometimes going all in on a player really just lets him shine. So that's great. Good for him. Falcons beat the Panthers, and it was a great game to watch, man. Great end result for me because my team looked exciting. I got to enjoy the game every step of the way, and we still lost, so we didn't mess up our draft picks. Win.
Arguably, yeah. I mean, I don't think you can describe it any better than that. Like, I put myself in your shoes, and I was like, yeah. I mean, you're right, man. I mean, Art Smith, Drew, you got to admit, he must have heard the world yelling at him about Kyle Pitts because homie went off.
Throw him the ball.
Throw him the damn ball,
he
man.
Did, man. Great for him. Mariota looked crisp in his passes. The lot of offense, not a whole lot of defense.
Well, it was, and it listen. That's what I wrote down. So he looked crisp, and he did get the team there. But after Mariota threw that second pick, it wasn't no way he was throwing that ball deep anymore. Wasn't no way in that fourth quarter in OT. So it was all short passes from him.
I mean, they got a great kicker. Why not? I wouldn't have risked it either, especially the way Panera was looking on the other side.
Well, and I think that's the maddening thing about young Wei Koo is that for as good as he looks and as strong as his leg is, dude missed some kicks.
He will miss some kicks. Kicker's gonna kick, So.
I mean, I don't know, man.
There's nothing diehard about kickers anymore outside of maybe Justin Tucker and McPherson for Cincinnati.
Well, I don't know about
stumbled.
Right?
Yeah, he stumbled quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's due to have a bad game. So, but
McPherson's having a bad season, but he was ironclad last year though.
So he was though.
How you feeling about these Cowboys putting up 49 points on the Bears?
Man, you actually just alluded to it, talking about a win-win, right? Like talking about a win-win with your team. I think this was a win-win for both of these teams in this game because you had more of an offensive output from the Bears and you had a explosion from the Dallas Cowboys, right? Yeah. So
more importantly, Tony Pollard.
Yes, that he did. But the thing is I guess what I mean by that is, you're seeing more of what you want to see from the Bears, but then also from the Cowboys, they're looking like they're poised to do some damage now, and they need to keep pace. And they had a strong showing, so I think this is great for them, especially for Tony Pollard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
our boy.
14 carries, 131 yards, 3 TDs.
Yes, sir. Do you think this means more? Like they'll just lean into it now?
They have to. You can't sit a player like that back until 6 to 8 carries he was getting.
I mean, way to circle back in the show, but talk about some awkward looks, right? Like talking about awkward looks, it's gonna be awkward looks around that damn locker room if they don't
Tony
really get that
carries,
right. You know what I'm saying? Them boys trying to win too, man. They trying to win.
Shawn, have you seen the Raiders offense? Because it is not in Vegas.
True.
They are not on the good page. 24 Saints, 24 blanking the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
it just was painful.
Derek Carr benched
on this dude's fantasy football team too. Thanks for the 1.68 points.
1.68.
Yeah.
Damn, he couldn't even get 1.7.
Nope.
Damn. I mean, well,
it was brutal, man.
I thought, though, talking about quarterbacks, I thought it was interesting that Jameis Winston did practice, and now they've fully leaned into to Andy Dalton and
/ Taysom Hill.
Well, yeah.
I love that that's become a pairing. It's either Andy Dalton and Hill or Winston. Because I don't feel like they would use Hill as much if Winston was in the game.
That's a good point. And that whole shenanigans, that whole situation has to let Saints fans know that this ain't it for y'all. Okay.
Y'all about to hit the rebuild.
Yeah. This is not the team. This is not the team. So they are all those chickens that they've been hatching are coming home to roost next season. They're going to sell off some pieces. I'm telling you.
I'm surprised they weren't sellers at the deadline. I guess they're just in their division, like, we might can do it.
True, true.
Patriot, I got a hats off to you. This was our lock off this week.
It was,
and
it was.
you won. Patriots picked off Wilson 3 times, beat the Jets in the division battle.
Drew, it's just something I had. Well, one, we talked about it pre-production. I had a feeling, and it's just that Belichick just has a penchant for knowing how to stymie
beating
younger
the Jets.
quarterbacks and beating the Jets. I mean, that's 2 for 2 right there. You know what I mean? So like this team has been hungry. Them losing the running back, just I think the offense, that the spark was gone and they didn't know how to recover. And Belichick just took advantage of that. And the couple weeks before, Drew, and I kick it to you on this, that defense, we talked about it before, looked like they have been waking up. So add all that.
I was doing a little roulette wheel of defenses,
right,
and I somehow landed on the Patriots at the perfect time. So I'm keeping them for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. And Mac Jones was still underwhelming, so they still have questions to be asked too, man.
You think? What do you think? What do you think Zappy could have done in the game?
Pew pew pew.
Gunslinger.
No, man.
Bailey Zappe. Do you think the next great gunslinger quarterback would be named Bailey Zappe?
No, that's a creative player. That's what that is. That's a damn creative player. I don't know who Bailey Zappe is. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you just saw the name Bailey Zappe and you had to pick a job for him,
bouncer,
something, not NFL,
and he wouldn't let people know that his first name was Bailey.
Yeah, you just be Zap.
Yeah,
just be Zap.
Like, who is Bailey Zappe? And just big, cute, like, shut up.
Yeah. Yep.
Commanders and Henneke ruined Special Sauce's debut. Where's this special sauce we were supposed to be seeing in Indianapolis? That's all we heard about. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm salty how they did Matt Ryan. So I'd have wanted this dude to fail horribly.
Yeah, and I mean he did. I mean, he didn't win the game, but I mean, talking about his stats specifically, it wasn't horrible, you know?
Yeah, he looks scared though. I mean, that might just be his face. But I don't know. And what's crazy is I have 0 ties to Matt Ryan. I hated him when he was at Atlanta.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know why. I'm like actually bummed for this dude.
Right.
Have no.
It's just the way they did him.
Pull for the Colts.
Right. It's the change. It's the change in dynamic because he goes from that guy to then immediately being the underdog, and you know everybody loves the underdog story.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think I'm projecting all my old feelings and my pinup feelings from how the Panthers handled Olsen and Smith and Cam and all. You know, like I see an aging veteran getting disrespected. It hurts. You know.
Yeah, I get that. It's those memories, man.
Yeah,
it's those memories.
Yeah. Except Carson Wentz. You know, do whatever you want to.
Yeah. True story.
Man, 49ers offense looked tough against the defending champs.
They did, man. They did. Drew, this is what we thought we were going to get last week, but we should have kind of expected it to take a little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Man, McCaffrey, love you, buddy. Glad to see you doing good.
So sorry to see you go. You know, like after seeing that kind of performance, you know, it's some Carolina Panthers fans who are so salty.
So salty.
Carolina
Twitter is weird right now.
I bet it is a
wasteland. Many differing opinions on where we're headed and what we need to be doing right now.
Right.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
But no, they look great, man. Especially if when McCaffrey sprinkled in, made Jimmy G look way better because that was not a good throw on McCaffrey's receiving touchdown. But he made it look like a good throw. And it's when Debo comes back, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, and I mean this just adding. They might have added the piece that actually is going to take them over the top. And in the end, we talked about it before they got Christian McCaffrey. In the end, it's still going to come down to Jimmy G making a play or two.
You got to make that throw. Down to that. You know it's going to be 13-10, and you're going to be on the 15-yard line with a minute 20 left, and you're going to need Jimmy G to do something. Seahawks hand Giants their second loss of the season. Geno, when are we going to give that man his respect and put him in some kind of offensive player of the year, MVP type of conversation? Because he is doing something that this great quarterback couldn't do with Seattle last year.
I think it was, and I think I saw like a headline from DK just saying that there was a moment where they realized that Geno was all in, and like they must have all realized they had nothing to lose. Like they were in a position where everybody was betting against them, and man, it's looking like they might be the team to reckon with. They might be the underdog story of the year right now.
I wouldn't want to play him in the playoffs.
We got to play them in like 2 weeks. I thought it was this week, and I was like, L.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that the Germany game?
That's the Germany game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
yeah,
fun. That's gonna be
yeah.
fun.
It is gonna be fun. It's gonna be. Of course, we'll talk about it. Probably will be my matchup coming up for a little foreshadowing. Talking about the next week, but like I feel like them getting them in a couple weeks in Germany might be the equalizer that the Bucks need, being so far removed and not being at home and not being in Seattle, of
Just
course.
play football.
Exactly.
That might be good. That might be what the doctor ordered.
Could be. I hope so. I hope so.
I love the Tyler Lockett diss at the end where he's like, see what we could accomplish when someone's not trying to make it all about them.
I did not know about
Yeah,
that.
look up. That's not word for word where he said, but check out what Tyler Lockett said in the. He leaned over the booth to make sure everyone heard him and said it.
Coming for the neck of Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Man.
Bills beat the Packers. I mean, we saw it coming, but it wasn't as big of a hurting as I thought it would be. 10 points is kind of respectable where both these teams are at.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a little bit of the hurry up on this recap. Kick this recap up a notch. Talk about some games that aren't really on our radar.
Below the radar, below the radar games.
Dolphins beat the Lions. Broke my heart. Thought the Lions were going to get that one, but that seems to be their thing.
Yeah. Yep. And the Lions fired a DB coach, man. Drew, you gotta like something's going sour there. I just wonder how it's going to shape up, man.
I wonder if Campbell's going to like clean house if he gets to stick around.
If he don't get cleaned,
out. He got the vote of confidence from the owner. We'll see. Eagles mollywop the Steelers.
Yeah. I mean, just Philadelphia just looking like the best team in football right now.
AJ Brown, my guy.
Yeah.
He didn't look like this in Tennessee.
He did not. They had to know what they were giving up, though. They had to know.
Yeah. They got no type of replacement for him in Tennessee. Titans beat the Texans. Keep rolling. So
keep rolling. Yeah, keep rolling.
Henry. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Vikings beat the Cardinals in a battle of the NFC. It was a pretty high scoring game. It was nice to see. Oddly enough, Cousins and Murray duel it out.
Yeah, like Drew, I guess the one thing I'll say is this game had everything. And weirdly enough, we should have known this was the two teams that was going to give it to us. You know what I mean?
The thorns in the side of nickel and dime. We can't ever predict what any of these teams, either one of those teams are going to do.
Nope.
And then, of course, the Monday night game, the Browns put it on the Bengals. And I'm kicking myself for even thinking the Bengals are going to win this because right before they snap the ball, you know how the commentators make you have those aha moments every now and then. Right before they snap the ball, I'm like, and just remember, everyone, Burrow has never beat the Browns. I was like, forgot about that.
Damn, and he still hasn't, man. I didn't see this coming, and even so much so that next week I see that the Bengals are playing the Panthers, and I was like, man, the Bengals are about to put the Panthers right back in their place. And this was Monday night at 4:00. I was thinking this, and then I see the result today, and I'm like,
it might be a struggle battle. Who can struggle the least?
They struggle the hell. I mean, I don't know, man. So Bengals they got some soul searching to do.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some housekeeping notes because it was a busy day in the trade deadline. So we'll hold off the trades for just a second. So we'll do some housekeeping notes. Colts fire offensive coordinator Marcus Brady. So Wright is going to take over play calling duty.
Yeah, I wish that the Bucks took a page out of that book and fired one of their coordinators. And maybe it's still, I mean, it's not like you can't fire somebody after the trade deadline. So maybe TBD on Byron Leftwich still having a job.
Dude, how crazy is that to go from being a high head coach candidate to is he even going to be a coordinator?
My man is the Bitcoin of coaches right now.
Oh, ouch. Bengals believe cornerback Awuzie has an ACL tear. So that's
Yeah,
unfortunate. More
that hurts.
bad news for Cincy.
Yeah.
Dolphins offensive lineman Eckenberg placed on IR with the MCL injury, so out at least
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah. Liam Eichenberg.
Eichenberg. Okay.
Yeah.
See, you always got to help me with the name. Bills Tre'Davious White set to return from IR from his torn ACL. So the rich get richer, huh?
Man. Yeah.
I forgot they were missing that key piece in their secondary. XFL unveiled their team names and logos, so go check them out on their Instagram account. It's pretty cool. They kept a lot of the team names. The Dallas Renegades became the Arlington Renegades, but they added some teams, so it's pretty cool. I'm digging it. I might have to pick a team, get a shirt.
Arlington Renegade sounds better than Dallas Renegades.
Right,
it does.
It does. Yeah, like the U.S. Marshals a little bit. Like Arlington Renegades.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in these crazy trades. Lions trade their tight end in division, send Hawkinson to the Vikings for an exchange of draft picks as well.
Man, I mean, they must have had. Anytime you trade somebody in division, I think that the team thinks poorly of them enough to be like, here, you have them.
Hawkinson's great,
but he's so good. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's good. He's been injured. I don't get that. You're helping them get in, and maybe the Lions are punting. I mean,
maybe they offered them the most.
Yeah, I don't know, but this might put the Vikings in firm position to take a hold of that division.
Yeah, this does come on the heels of their tight end Irv Smith being out for 8 to 10 weeks.
I mean,
I'll take
not thinking about the math. Yeah,
well,
I will too, but then add Irv back into the mix in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
If they go that far.
Look at you. Yeah. Dolphins trade for probably the prize of the day, linebacker Bradley Chubb. They also get San Francisco running back Wilson Jr. I guess they don't need him in San Fran anymore.
Yeah, San Fran, they have always been a team to wheel and deal, but the Dolphins making some moves, man.
The Dolphins have the 49ers backfield from a few years ago. They got Breida, they got Mostert, and they got Wilson Jr.
And that was a productive backfield.
It was a great backfield.
Yeah, but he was on that coaching staff, wasn't he? So he knows,
he's I got my trio of runners.
Those are his guys.
They got a really cool picture of them in the locker room in San Fran, and Miami posted that today. So that was pretty
nice.
Ravens trade a second and a 5th round pick to the Bears for linebacker Roquan Smith. So I guess it's Chubb or Smith really is the 1A, 1B to the prize of this draft.
Yeah, or this Roquan. They made this move for Roquan, man. So I think he's going to get every opportunity to show that he is a linebacker that he was at Georgia, and I'm excited to see what he's able to do and if he can live up to that now with his new team.
I hope he can elevate Queen too. Queen's been so shaky.
Yeah, and those were I believe, didn't they come out in the same draft or very close? I'm not sure, but a lot of young talent on that Baltimore team.
Bears send a 2nd round pick to the Steelers for wide receiver Chase Claypool. Chicago. My man. I love that they posted. They really made this man draft his replacement. He announced the Pickens pick this past draft.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. That's crazy. And for Claypool, he gets an opportunity, but talking about barren wastelands, like that Chicago wide receiver core was
he can be the guy,
and now he's the guy, which is probably what he wants anyway.
That's what he wants. Him and Fields, if they can get some kind of chemistry going, great move on Chicago's part.
Yeah, and then the Steelers getting something for him, but I mean, I guess the Steelers they like that's the point. They get something back for him, but an early draft pick with a lot of potential, man. I
I
like Chase Claypool.
That's what I'm saying. I would gladly give up a second round pick for a sure thing. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
draft a wide receiver in the second round, you're
yeah.
hoping.
I was, I honestly, without all the knucklehead stuff, I was hoping that the Bucks were actually going to trade for him,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
I'd
mean,
gladly
because
give up the two
he's I mean he's your future Mike Evans. It's like
right there,
yeah,
right there.
right. And then of course we talked about it earlier. The rich get richer. Bills send Moss and some picks to the Colts for running back Hines and they also get safety Dean Marlowe from Atlanta.
Some nice supplementary picks and stuff like that. So
Hines is going to be great out of the backfield with Allen.
yeah, yeah, he is. He is. I thought that honestly could have been the underrated prize of the day, Naheem Hines,
Yeah,
and how they're going to use him is even more important than that. So I think that could be the one that pays immediate dividends.
yeah. What's that
A
mean
little
for
package in there for
Singletary?
him. Yeah,
I
yeah.
still
If
think they
especially
run a lot with Singletary, and Hines will be the pass catcher. I think.
right, the change of pace, and that's what I mean. Like he could easily have a package this week.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. And then the kind of future pick, Jags trade for wide receiver Calvin Ridley, who's suspended for the rest of the year. So I kind of like it, man. Fresh start, come back
man,
strong next year
bro,
for
and
a young developing team.
Calvin Ridley was that dude. Fantasy owners can attest to
Yeah,
that. The
what a
year
wide
before
receiver
last,
core now.
right? Man, and now we talked about how mediocre Trevor Lawrence was a little bit earlier on the show, Drew. No, this now gets into no excuses territory. If you're me, that's my opinion.
He's gonna have that Tua pressure.
Yep,
Do or die this year, man. You
yep.
got. I
Because
mean, next year. Yeah. When Ridley's
Shaq and the owner Shaq Khan should be so used to change that he should have no problem just getting rid of Trevor Lawrence, right? Like he's so
you
used to
don't
just
pan
getting
out,
rid
you
of
don't pan
picks.
out.
Get him out of there, man.
Go get Bailey Zappi.
Tampa.
All right, let's get into my favorite segment. It's time for 3 and Out.
All right, Drew. All right.
What
You
got?
ready? What
Let's
you
do it.
got going on first down, man?
Yeah.
I just thought of this question, so I'm gonna sneak it in there on you. And it
Okay.
also somewhat vaguely has something to do with football, even though this is a football show, but I have to ask, bringing a little drama to the table.
Drama.
The way that Russell Wilson was so beloved in Seattle and how everybody kind of revered him, he was that guy. And now, you know, to see such a heel turn and how like everybody is just like he is just not this genuine dude. Do you think Sierra kind of has like behind the scenes? What do you think is going on there? Like how do you think she feels about the whole situation?
You know that dude is her puppet. You know she's pulling those strings, man. And it's funny to see that maybe he wasn't that nice guy in Seattle. Like maybe it's looking like he had the public and the fans fooled, but like
Yes.
I feel like he's like if they were to make a movie about a self like a conceited quarterback
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
on a team when he's just you know
He's just not in touch with what might be going on in the locker room.
exactly
Right.
completely just not picking up the vibes his teammates are putting down and
Read the
he's just
room, my guy.
like blaring Jesus music through his headphones all the time, not
Right.
listening to his teammates, not meeting up with them,
Bose
not going to
headphones.
the
Bose
hangouts.
headphones. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would be the perfect cat, like the person cast as that. So I see why he's that coach's pet that gets special treatment because he sucks up to the coach that we all hated growing up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know, but he definitely seems like a coach's kid, but I don't know if his dad is a coach,
I'm sure
you
some
know?
point he was.
Yeah. But I was curious about that because I guess like bringing it back in, but I was curious to know like she doesn't really like she's out there and she's kind of doing her own thing,
Do
but
you,
like doesn't really speak on that. And like when they got together, like Russ was that guy, and now like
yeah.
he's definitely
Do you
not.
think he's like, man, this dude's lame. This dude is so lame.
I
But he's the
have
father of my
to
child now. He's lame.
right, like I mean, I don't know. So sorry to bring you football guys and
Yeah,
gals down to
yeah,
the dramatics, but you know,
yeah.
we delve in there a little bit. We
Yeah.
delve in.
Poor little future doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Shawn, second down. With the few trades we had here and there, the little pieces moved around. Who would you say won this trade deadline? If there's one clear cut winner,
If there's one clear cut winner, man, I'm looking at all of them now. I would probably have to say I really like what the Dolphins did. Um, but yeah, I'd probably have to say the Dolphins, but that Vikings trade for Hawkinson, man.
yeah,
Whoo, I know Kirk Cousins is like, I'm gonna feed the
take
shit
some
out of
pressure off
TJ,
Jefferson
man.
too.
Who I don't know who has TJ Hawkinson, but if not, you need to add him now.
Some bunch of
Add
I'm
him
sure
now.
some
He's
trade
going to
proposals went through.
yeah, he is gonna definitely he's gonna be a feed me situation. But I really like now that I'm blanking on the coach's name, Mike McDaniels. But now if he has that running back trio that he really wants, he can utilize the way that he wants to in his team now. I think that's gonna pay dividends. Getting Bradley Chubb adds to that underrated defense. Miami's gotta be a winner for me, Drew.
I hear you, man. Now
Yeah.
all lies on Tua's shoulders.
Yeah, so I kind of asked that first question out of left field, so I'm gonna sneak two in there on you. And the first one,
Okay.
I just gotta know, Drew, does DJ Moore wish he would have kept that helmet on?
Yes. But I get it in the heat of the moment, man. My man just made the catch of the year, arguably. I would have been hyped too, but
Right.
got to keep that lid on, dude.
He was good until he came back into the play of field.
Yeah.
Right, like he was good. If he just walked around the side,
Stay out,
no
man.
flag,
Stay
no
out.
flag. So,
Like, and also if he makes that kick, nobody cares.
true. That's true. And y'all
So
had
if
ops.
anything, Eddie
Yeah.
Pinero should hate that dude's guts.
Yeah, y'all had ops, man. Look,
Yeah.
and just a real quick, man. With every team still in it, Drew, I gotta know, based on what you have seen, who is your NFC South winner right now?
Oh man. Oh.
On the spot.
I gotta think y'all figure out something. I gotta say Bucks still at this point. Just cause
Okay.
like if we had a clear like Minnesota, like a
Yeah.
team taking it and running with it,
Yeah.
I'd say y'all are toast.
Yeah.
But
Because we couldn't catch him at that point, but everyone,
but there isn't. So you're good. I don't see the Falcons keeping this up. Like they're
Yeah.
good, but they're not
What a
playoff.
story if they can. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like if they truly believed it, they would have been more aggressive this trade deadline.
That's true.
Like they
That's
went and
true.
got a third string cornerback from Kansas City.
Yeah.
That
Overachieving there, I
that
guess.
doesn't
Yeah.
that doesn't say, hey, we're all in to win this year. Like I think they're happy with their progression and they're
Yeah.
gonna keep getting some draft picks and keep building this team. But yeah, I gotta feel like Brady finds a way to at least win this division.
I hope you're right, man. That's all I can say. Because them
Yeah.
boys, they do not look like they want it at all. They look like they already planning their vacation. You
Yeah.
know,
Watch the Saints sneak up and win the whole thing.
man, I would hate that.
Andy
Like,
Dalton led
I would
Saints.
hate that. No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
don't put that evil on us.
Yeah. All right, fourth down, going for it. Shawn, who goes farther in the NFC playoffs, the Vikings or the Cowboys?
Ooh, man. Ah, man, I don't want to be a creature of the moment, right? I don't want to be a creature of the moment.
And also,
But
to be fair, I didn't have this question planned when I didn't know you'd be high on the Vikings going in.
right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, right, I'm all wrapped up. Like, they got me feeling all good with that Hawkinson deal, man. I'm like, I would probably have to say, and Dalvo's been healthy. They're mixing Madison in to kind of spell him.
Yeah, they're managing his
Right, yeah.
wear and tear this year better.
Justin Jefferson is every bit of the receiver he was last year. Adding and Zadarius Smith is doing his damn thing too, though. You know what I'm saying? He feels. I feel like he's back home now. You know what I'm saying?
This
like
is what everyone was hoping he'd do in Green Bay last.
Right, exactly. So I gotta go with the Vikings, man. They look like a dangerous team, and recent history suggests that they've been there. Cowboys haven't.
They
You
go
know,
they go about a round or two farther than they should every year.
exactly.
So they
So I
got that in
gotta
there. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Not here, and plus the Cowboys wide receiver core worries me. Like Noah Brown's their number 2 receiver right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought they had Gallup back.
He's just not. He's not
It's just not right.
mixing in as much. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. All right, Shawn, you got any shout outs this week?
Yeah, man. I think my first shout out is going to be Garrett Wilson. Had a breakout game. This past week in a loss, obviously. You know what I mean. But like this is what people have thought when they were coming in to the league. This is what they thought they were going to get. So shout out to them. Looking back at week 8, let's go. I do want to say shout out to the Denver Broncos for actually getting a victory, kind of getting some of the monkey off their back. You know what I'm saying? Like they really need, and they got to keep pace. You know what I'm saying? They've got to keep pace. I do want to say shout to Rachaad White, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back. I'm thinking they need to give him the ball over Lenny right now. The way that he's come in,
Okay.
unafraid, doing everything that he needs to do. Obviously, we have to shout out AJ Brown. Got to shout out AJ Brown and the Eagles. And I do want to say we had a lock off. Shout to Bill Belichick for still knowing how to get that thing done, man.
Yeah.
He's still up in there. And I guess last but not least, shout to the San Francisco 49ers doing what they need to do to try to take a hold of this NFC West division. Realizing that everybody's on their heels and making the trades that they need to do to put themselves over the top. John Lynch got balls, man. That dude, he played reckless. He GM's reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's fair.
He
That's
don't
fair.
care, man.
He goes
shout to John Lynch, man, and Kyle Shanahan, just winging it out here and getting it done. But they need to get a championship to make sure that it means something. You know?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Don't just be a wild card.
Yeah. All right, Shawn, let's get into these matchups of the week. My first matchup, big fan. Buffalo Bills at New York Jets. Because we're going to see if the Jets can, or which version of the Jets is the real Jets.
Yeah,
are we going to get Zach Wilson catching touchdown passes, doing the gritty in the end zone, or are we going to get 3 interceptions, Zach Wilson and the Jets?
And what a great question. But this is a great matchup because of what it means. If the Jets can somehow take out Goliath, right? And they're not even that much of a David if what they put on paper and put on tape. But I mean, if they could, I feel like they can upset everything, even though they're second place in the AFC East, by just like what it would mean for the other teams. Not only that, but Kansas City would love for the Jets to knock these boys off right now, you know?
That battle for that number 1 seed is going to get close. I just don't know if the Bills are going to lose anymore this year.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Jets stumbled against the Patriots, but as you alluded to earlier, I feel like that was a great coaching scheme and running into a fire-hot defense. So I at least want the Jets to put up a fight. Like, I just hope this is a good game, back and forth. They at least got to put up as much of a fight as the Packers did, right?
I feel like they should because they beat the Packers. You know?
Yeah, fair.
You know, I feel like they definitely should, but it's just this game for the Jets can't come on paper. I feel like because I'm looking at the numbers right now, and if they're looking at the numbers, then they're automatically going to lose. You know what I mean? So I feel like this game has to come from within because looking on paper, the Bills are tops in a number of categories, like top 10 in mostly all of them, with the exception of rushing, and they did something to address that by getting Nyheim Hines. You know what I mean? So, passing yards, total yards, points scored per game, they're second. Points against per game with the defense, they're first. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's no good time to get them, but the Jets have an opportunity. I do believe that the Jets are home. I mean, it's still in New York, but still. But I don't know, man. What you think?
No, I'm excited about it, man. The Buffalo can definitely hit them with the knockout punch to the division by winning this game. So I feel like they're the clear head and shoulders team, but this will really drive that home.
Stamp it. Yeah.
Yeah. And we get to
USDA
see
approved.
Buffalo's new shiny weapons.
Yeah. Be
That's
ready
what I
for
get
that
to see.
night.
We get to see all the new people and all the new teams. It's gonna be great. I'm excited
Yeah.
about it.
Everybody passed their physical, so hopefully they'll suit up.
Yeah. Honorable mention matchup of the week though. I did have the Chargers and Falcons because now the Falcons are number one in the division.
Yeah.
Where you go from here, bro?
Man, hey, they will have an opportunity. That is that I did see that matchup, so that was a good
Yeah.
one. That was a good
All
one
right.
too.
What you got
So
as your matchup of the week?
my matchup, man, because of what it means, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Los Angeles Rams. Bucks are at home, and Drew, make no mistake about it. You can't tell me that both of these teams do not need this game.
Yeah, very true. Because I mean,
Um,
as much as we can say about the Bucks and them struggling, the Rams are too.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean I'm glad that we're at home. I don't like that it may be the national TV game because we all know how
Of
the Bucks
course,
perform
of
in, in,
course,
in national TV.
of course.
But both teams need this. The quarterbacks are struggling. The running game isn't there. The Bucks are the worst in the league. A victory for what it would mean for the rest of the season for both of these teams, man. I think that it's a must-win game. Like this might be the biggest game of the season for either one of these two teams. And the Rams have beat the shit out of the Bucks the last umpteen times, including sending them home in the playoffs. So the Bucks should want it. I
Yeah,
don't know that they do because they haven't wanted it against anybody really this year, aside from the first two games. So for the Rams, they should be just as hungry. Want to make the Bucks look silly, own them like they have, and I'm excited to see it, man. I need more Rashad White though. I need more Rashad
yeah.
White.
Two offenses that are in desperate need for a spark.
So much. Just let me get a candlelight, something.
Yeah. Who do you think ends up stepping up? Who's the X factor in this game?
The X factor, I think, the X factor is going to be the Bucks rushing game.
Okay.
It's the Bucks rushing game, yeah. And I don't know if it's going to be Lenny or whatnot. I want to say it's going to be Mike because you saw how he stepped up in the playoffs. But I think there's a renewed focus on getting Mike the ball, getting Chris the ball. The rushing game is what we haven't had.
That's fair. That is fair.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about the game because uh, it's you're like looking in the mirror right now. Like
Yes.
y'all have a few
Yeah.
more weapons than they do, but
Yep.
your stud star quarterbacks are struggling. Your
Yep.
defenses aren't measuring up to what they have in the past. I guess it's great to see who's finally going to be like, enough. We're winning
Yes.
this game.
Yep. And I really hope it's us, Drew. And you couldn't have put it better because talking about Amir is this double that because of what these teams were last year. These were two teams who were arguably the two best teams in the NFC last year, now in both in this position of a much needed win. So you can't put it any better, man.
Yeah. All right, man. I don't even want to talk about this segment anymore. You got such a big lead. Let's get into these locks because
Let's
I
do
keep
it. Let's
fumbling.
do
You
it.
keep winning. You went 2-0 again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You went 2-0
Yeah.
again. So everyone at home, listen to Suds. Don't listen to me.
All
Um,
right, man. Who man. When I was looking at it, man, I didn't really know who I was going with because I didn't want to choose an easy game, right?
right.
So that being said, you talked about it being an honorable mention in game. We're going with the winner first. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers knocking the Atlanta Falcons out of first place in the
Oh,
NFC
okay.
South on the road. I believe the Chargers are coming off a bye too.
Yeah. Yeah, they get their head straight.
Yeah, so
Her
I
bear get
like it.
rested up. Those
Yep,
ribs probably feel the best they've felt all season.
yep,
That's a good call, man. I got the Patriots beating the Colts. I think the Patriots gonna ride this defensive high.
yeah.
Colts struggling offensively. I could see this unfortunately being one of those 9-0 games. where
Yeah.
you're just like, what did I just watch?
Unless they put Zappy in. Unless they put Zappy
Zappy.
in. Yeah, yeah. All right. So we're going with the loser here. And man, this was a hard game. And I'm real nervous about this game right now, man. But I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders to take that L against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm already nervous about it. Just letting it come out my mouth. But
Right.
here we are.
This is the week that Carr finds his offense.
Right. Here we are.
No, I hear you, man. And this was a very tough game for me to pick as well. I picked the Cardinals losing to the Seahawks in that battle of that NFC West when Murray's looking pretty good right now and Gino's looking amazing right now. So I
Yeah.
want another shootout.
Man, I actually hope this happens because then the Bucks will be getting Seattle at a very high, and they'll be the underdog. They should be the underdog coming in that game. And what a way to turn your season around in Germany by beating that team.
That's
So
on a high streak.
that's on a hot streak. That's what they need. So let me get that
Look
Seattle win. Let me get that
Look
Seattle win.
Look at you leaning into my stories.
Hey man, I'm liking the way it looks. There's a rosy outlook. I really like the way you painted that picture.
Yeah,
you know?
see? Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah.
that. Yeah, I need some wins. I'm 7-9. You're 11-5. So
Ooh, playoff bound, baby.
Let the comebacks begin. We'll see.
Stranger things.
Yeah, right. Shawn, where can they find you?
At the Kid Suds on Twitter, man. At the nickel_dom FB on the Twitter as well. At nickel_dom football on the illustrious Instagram. Drew, where about your content can they find you at, man? Where can they find you at on the socials?
Check out all the great content on this YouTube page. We got some sketches for you. Got some comedy podcasts. Got some specials on there that you might need to check out if you hadn't checked out already. But follow me on Instagram at Laugh with Harrison, and more importantly, tune in next week. It's week 9 already, man. We're starting to. These games have already been counting for a lot, but now they're really about to mean something when seeding's on the line, and even getting into the playoffs is on the line. So
I didn't think I'd be here. I didn't think I'd be here. I thought we was going to be riding high, but the NFL has a way of
where we would be.
NFL has a way of humbling you.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. But hit that subscribe button. Watch the games on Sunday with us. Share us with your friends pregame. Have a couple drinks before the game. Get loose, get some nachos.
Lock in.
Put on nickel and dime. Get ready for the game. And we will see you next week to do it all over again.